try to find different places to record for you guys. This is my fireplace. Fun that it's two-sided, right? Today is just a brief intro into social development. Here, I'll come a little closer. And really, you're just going to be looking at the Harlow studies in this lecture. It's going to be very brief. You're going to watch a video. I'm going to give you the key takeaways. And then you are watching the episode of Babies. You can pick whichever one you're most interested in, but they're super cute. And they give you just a different kind of docu-series perspective and insight into this development. So that is the plan for today. Make sure you're hopping on Canvas once we work our way through this lecture, downloading the viewing guide, and just filling out things you learn, questions you have, and kind of what your takeaways are from that episode of Babies. Have fun! So like I said, I'm going to kind of breeze through this intro to social development, and just to give kind of some basic terminology. We are going to be talking about attachment and stranger anxiety. You're going to see that through the very famous Harlow studies. It's about a 7-minute video clip about these psychologists who trained monkeys to better understand their attachment styles. And you'll see kind of the structure of the experiment itself. You will need to know the Harlow studies. They're very prominent in our understanding of psychology and of attachment and social behavior. But first, let's just chat. Attachment is an emotional tie with another person. It's pretty intuitive. This is exactly what we know the term attachment to mean. Most important is the intense and mutual infant-parent, infant-caregiver bond. So like a newborn baby who cannot take care of themselves, they are the ones that build the most intense attachments with whomever is caring for them because they literally couldn't survive without them. They prefer familiar voices and faces, and that's proof of this attachment that kids are making. We also know that during social development, we start to see the emergence of stranger anxiety. We talked about that when we talked about evolutionary psychology and how it starts happening when kids can walk, because when they can walk away from their parents and then get eaten by a lion, right? That was the example that we gave. It also came up when we talked about Piaget's stages. Stranger anxiety does begin to form during the sensory motor stage, so that first stage. And really this is around 8 months. They showed a stress, and by they, infants show stress among strangers and are contented content, I think is what that meant to say, when they're with their parents, right? This makes sense. Similar to object permanence, when their parents are gone, they don't view them as they left the room. It's they are no longer in existence, and that can be stressful for infants. So, like I said, you're going to watch this quick video about the Harlow studies, and then we'll chat about them here when we're done.
Let me show you a monkey raised on a nursing wire mother. Now here are 106's two mothers. As you can see, it was weaned on a wire mother. Here's baby 106. Watch.
He's going to the wire mother.
He's got to eat to live.
Oh, he's going back.
He's back on the cloth mother, and he'll stay on the cloth mother. Actually, this baby spends from 17 to 18 hours a day on the cloth mother and less than 1 hour a day on the wire mother. We had predicted that the variable of contact comfort would be a variable of measurable importance, but we were unprepared to find that it completely overwhelmed and overshadowed all other variables, including those of nursing.
Frankly, Doctor, if it comes to a choice between wire and cloth, it's reasonable to expect that any child will go to the cloth. It's a matter of creature comfort, like a baby with its blanket. But is this really love?
Well, what do you mean by saying that a baby loves its mother? Certainly one thing we mean is that it gets a great feeling of security in the presence of the mother. Now, Mr. Collingwood, wouldn't you say that if you frightened a baby, that it went running to its mother, was comforted, and then all the fear disappeared and was replaced by a complete sense of security, that that baby loved its mother? Now, in this experiment, this is the apparatus we use.
That looks diabolical.
That's just the way the baby monkey feels about it. Flashing eyes, loud sound, moving mechanical parts, all of these things are designed to frighten a monkey. Now here we have a peaceful, resting baby monkey. Let's find out what his reactions to his mother are when we frighten him.
He's scared, all right.
And he does what any child will do in a similar situation.
He runs away.
It's more than running away. He was running to his mother, to touch her, to drive away his fear. Contact with the mother changes his entire personality. Look, now he's actually threatening the diabolical object. All right. This gives us part of the picture of the strength of infantile love. This is a 6-foot square room with a few toys and other objects. But to the monkey, it's much more menacing. We know that when our own children are taken to a strange place without their mothers, they are often overwhelmed with fear. This room is just such a new and strange environment for the baby monkeys. No mother is in there. Now, let's put a monkey into the room. Notice how cautiously he enters the room. He's searching for comfort, but nothing relieves his disturbance. Now we'll take the baby monkey out and put in a wire mother.
Now, this one was nursed by a wire mother.
That's right, all his life.
She doesn't seem to help much.
Now, we'll try the same test with a cloth mother in the room. You see the contrast in the behavior? Despite the fact that the wire mother nursed him, she could offer this infant nothing in the way of affection or security. But here the monkey, by rubbing against the cloth mother, as if he were seeking as much contact comfort as he could get, builds up his reservoir of affection and security. First, his body relaxes as the fear disappears. But above and beyond this, new positive response patterns appear. He now goes out to explore and investigate this new, strange world. He is now a normal, happy, curious baby.
So those were the Harlow studies, right? Obviously, these are pretty old school. In psychology, we do tend to watch a lot of like throwback video clips of experiments, and this is just one of them. The monkeys being weaned on a wire versus a cloth mother. The wire mother providing like sustenance and life, but like the value that comfort and like soft love and affection is really impactful on a baby's development. A few takeaways that we can gauge from this particular study and how it pertains to social development, right? We know that attachment is developed not simply because parents satisfy these biological needs, but because they provide soft and warm body contact. We know that attachment provides children with a safe haven and a secure base from which to explore the world, right? You saw that last kind of experiment piece when they're in a new or an unfamiliar environment. The baby monkey was far more willing and likely to go kind of explore and learn new things under the protection and safety, quote unquote, right? It's a cloth fake monkey mama. Under that safety and protection, more willing to explore the world, right? And we also have seen from these Harlow studies and other studies on development over time, whether it be language development or cognitive development, there is this critical period, which is an optimal period shortly after birth when certain events must take place in order to allow for proper development in many animals. Think about imprinting. Think about the duck video we watched a couple of days ago. We also know this is why babies are told to like have skin-to-skin contact with a father immediately after they're born, right? So like dads are supposed to like hold their child shirtless so that they can have that immediate contact, so that the child isn't only bonding with and like socializing to its mother through nursing and that's that contact, but also with its father. We know that there's a story, it's not a story, well it is, but there is a case study on a girl named Jeannie who, when she was born, was basically like locked in a room. She's kind of referred to as the wild child. There's a documentary, well, a lot of documentaries about her, and she is kind of the premier case study on critical periods because as she wasn't taught language, she wasn't taught like how to interact with people, how to play, how to read, do anything, and that ability never came because she missed her critical period. So just kind of recognizing these are some of the takeaways that we have from these Harlow studies. The last piece here is just to recognize that there is further experimentation that has gone on surrounding attachment, right? It's not just like attachment is important for kids, but that there are different types of attachment, right? Secure, insecure, and anxious and avoidant style insecure attachment. So this was work done by Mary Ainsworth, and this was when a child was put into a strange situation test. If a child had a secure attachment with a parent or a guardian or family member, most children feel distressed when the mother leaves and seeks her contact when she returns. That's just a normal child developing attachment for a parent, right? Insecure attachment of the anxious style, we see children behave in a way that they are clinging to their mother. They're less likely to explore their environment. They may get loudly upset with mother's departure and remain upset when she returns. Right? These are like the separation anxiety, that like the dramatic child throwing a temper tantrum when mom leaves her at daycare or leaves him at kindergarten or whatever. That would be like an insecure attachment of the anxious style. And then the last one here is an insecure attachment, avoidant style, which is seeming indifferent to mother's departure and return. This is oftentimes from neglect and abuse and other kind of more negative behaviors that a parent is portraying, whereas the anxious style would probably be more like a helicopter mom as we have come to know them today, or like an angry kind of temperamental mom who might get upset with temper tantrums or whatever. So these are just different types of attachment styles, and they pertain to our understanding of social development, in that they're giving us further insight into how children, infants, little kids, toddlers relate to the people around them. So like I said, that's a short intro. We're going to kind of shift our gears here and watch babies. So again, your takeaways are those attachment styles and what attachment, stranger anxiety, and some of those ideas how they influence our development, and how parenting styles and how we interact with those around us do in fact influence how we and why we develop in the way that we do. Think Vygotsky that we referenced at the end of the day yesterday. Like I said, you are going to be doing a little viewing guide along with your episode of Babies. Either hop on Netflix, or there are, like, I think 6 of the 7 are on Netflix. I have them linked on the activity. So have fun, enjoy, pick which one you're interested in, and make sure you resubmit it to the Canvas assignment.